Now sit back and prepare to be entertained. Welcome to the Dripping Bucket Podcast.
There we go. We're back in with Beth Tabler here at the Dripping Bucket. We've kidnapped her and we're keeping her forever or for about half an hour. We'll see whichever one comes first.
I am quite chatty.
Yeah. Me too. Fletcher gets to nod once in a while and then that's it. Yeah. That's how I know he's still alive and not like frozen or
sleeping.
Yeah, that comes over real well in a podcast, the nodding.
Yeah.
I am bad.
No, it's okay.
It's what
That's
you
why
get.
That's why you hooked yourself onto a chatty other host, right?
Well, exactly.
So that,
I mean, if it was Clayton here with me, oh my God, just awkward silences.
25 minutes of silence and then like a grunt.
Yeah. Just and an
Thank you for
awkward,
being
embarrassed
here.
grunt too. Like
one of these days I'll upload like a silent episode of just like a still frame of each of us and see if anybody notices. That, or if you can't make it to a podcast recording, Fletcher, I'll just get like a picture of you and put it up, and then no one will know the difference.
You can get a picture of Dirk.
Yeah.
the joke that just keeps giving.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how Dirk feels about me because I'm like his fan club, right? Like I'm the leader of his fan club is what I say. Is this weird? I like his book so much.
There's no way. Let me tell you a secret, Beth. Authors are absolute whores for attention, and like it makes us feel weird and ooey because the reason we write is because we don't know actually how to have attention from other human beings, but deep down we love it.
Well, it's
or on the surface we also love it.
I read the Paternity series, and I've read a lot of urban fantasy, and I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I'm like, well, more people need to read this. So it just became this thing, like, this is the series you have to read. And it, that was because I liked it so much, and I wanted other people to know about it. And every time I do anything, really, any podcast or whatever, I try to mention it, because I love this series. So I have become his cheerleader. Actually, you know what's funny? Where is it? I bought one of his arcs.
It must have been really cool. On that note, had you met him in person before Glasgow? So that was your first. That was my
first time.
Did you get a little moment to squee quietly at him, or were you too intimidated?
Hi. I'm your stalker.
Hi, I love you. Yeah.
I love you.
I followed you all the way to school.
Do you like? I'm your number one fan. Twitch.
Sweetest people too.
Oh, he's so nice.
Yeah,
he's very nice, very personable. Just kind of guy who walks in the room and everybody's happy, calm, good spirit.
Stand him. What a fucker. He's insufferable.
I actually have a pile of his books now burning.
Burning a Dirkle effigy.
Oh God! Hold on! I'm gonna get my
Las Vegas
my coffee. One sec.
Oh, you've
got the Hardy Boys cover. Yeah, I've got that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was on eBay and I was curious. So yeah, it was on eBay.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll pick that up. That's a terrible cover. I'll pick it up. Good times.
There's a certain personality that's like, wow, that's horrible. I need it.
It's amazingly bad.
What do you mean the book's good?
It's not terrible. It's just not. It's not his newer covers. His newer covers are much better.
His new covers are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I managed to score Anthony DiGiovanni for those.
Oh, did he?
Before Anthony's career became sort of orbital,
Astronomical.
and none of us could afford him anymore. Now he's working for Disney, and he doesn't return my calls.
Is he really? Or is that an exaggeration?
Yeah, no, he's done some. I think he did concept stuff for the Barbie movie, stuff like that.
Wow,
Like he's out there.
that's
And I think,
fantastic.
Ghosts of Tomorrow was the first cover he ever did, and he was just this sort of like. My wife was like, my brother's wife's second cousin does art. You should hire him for a book. And I'm like,
Fine,
I'll talk to him.
You know who else has a
that's
cool job that's sort of like that is Essa Hansen. She works she works for Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Underneath the umbrella of Disney, I guess now. Yeah, but she's a sound editor, so like she's worked on, I don't know, a bunch of the Marvel movies doing the sound, like clip clop
cool.
and yeah.
But artists becoming successful, and to the point where we can't afford them is really inconsiderate.
How fucking dare they?
I know.
How dare
Why are you successful?
It's like you're not even thinking about me. Oh my god.
I have that low key fear of like, so like I really enjoy the artist that I've been working with lately, and I want her to get the recognition that she deserves, and I want to, like, if I see anybody asking for artist recommendations, it's like, Zoe, get Zoe, she's awesome. And then every now and then I'm like, but wait, what if she gets too popular and she can't help me anymore?
I made you.
Yeah, I'm on my third artist, who is about to do that. Who's about to like move out of my price range. Like for the last thing I hired him for, he was like, "Oh, I'll give you the old price because you were one of the first guys who hired me." I'm like,
nice.
Here we go.
Shit.
Yeah, I tell you about our artists, but stay the fuck back.
You gotta get some retainer situation going. Just like put him on contract for a couple of years so that
I tried to do that with Felix. I was like, what if I hire you and pay you like right now for the next 3 books in advance at your current rate? And wisely he said no.
No, absolutely not. Fuck. Damn it. Get out of my house. Okay.
I feel like Sarah's going to do that too, as an editor.
Maybe, yeah.
Because she's so good.
We were going to talk about before we go blog.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot.
Minutes in. Yeah. Okay. So along with Grimdark Magazine, you are also the creator and the general boss and
I'm the fist.
Yeah.
I'm not that cool. It'd be so cool. Not that cool.
We should get your rings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Okay. Next con. So.
There we go. So before we go blog, which is kind of fucking huge right now. Like, we're slaying in the background. Like
crazy.
The page view stats are like nuts. So did you want to talk kind of briefly about where that came from, and then we can jump into where it is now?
So it started, the name before we go was actually related to a list blog. I will show you. Let me see. So I'm real weird, like real weird into like book lists.
Welcome to the club. Oh wow. Okay.
Like, yeah. I am that person. So I'm like, oh, I should put this online because people will care. No. So I like put it online. I'm like, oh, before we go, I'm gonna read this, and before we go, I'm gonna walk a mile backwards, which I totally did. Like I'd have like bucket list items, and then as I was going along, it was more and more books because I've always been a book whore, and just more and more books. And then there was a Blogamus. They had the Blogamus, which is you write a post and do a review every day in December. And I'm like, I could do that.
Every
I could
day.
do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I could do that. So I did it. And then I'm like, well, I could do that for January. So I did it. Well, I can do that for February. So I was running out of steam, but I totally did it.
Yeah.
And then
I'm impressed that you lasted that long. I feel like I would have gotten like a week and a half at the most.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, 3 days for me.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah.
I have written, I don't know, 1,500 posts or something before the team. Like I had been chugging along. Yeah, something like that. 1,300 of a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So you built up that momentum,
Mm-hmm.
and then decided clearly what I need.
This is a book blog dedicated to just books. And Before We Go makes so much sense. So it became Before We Go read, read more. Before We Go read more. And Before We Go read whatever, this book. So
yeah.
And I did that chugging along till about, I don't know, 3 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, and invited somebody to do a guest post. And then I started, hey, does anybody want a guest post? I'll do interviews or whatever, whatever I can to support different authors and indie community. And that was going. And then I asked, oh gosh, I don't know, it's all fuzzy, but I started asking people, would you like to be a part of the blog?
Yeah.
You can put up whatever kind of books, because I read a certain kind of book, but there's a lot of books out there that are not getting reviewed because they're just not my cup of. So
yeah.
So I'm like, we'll enrich the blog, get more viewpoints, and then so they started putting their reviews up, and then it kind of just started snowballing. And we have a wide range of reviews, and I also. Even though it hurts our SEO, I am also a big advocate for having multiple reviews of one book, because we have multiple viewpoints of one book. So, and then we link them at the bottom. I think that's important.
Yeah. I did not know that was bad for the SEO, which is why I'm totally not qualified to run things.
SEO is a bitch. SEO is a bitch. It changes. Yeah.
We don't know anything about it, and we can barely even post these things online.
I know just enough to know that I'm doing a bad job.
Google changed a bunch of stuff about 6 months ago that made us so that we weren't at the top of the list anymore, because we were actually, you type in review of, and Before We Go would pop to the top of the search list on a lot of stuff, which is incredible. Something I never thought I'd see. But they changed a bunch of ways in which they parse information, and so I have to do a bunch of stuff on the back end of the website here in the next month.
I apologize.
So much
shitty
God.
SEO works.
There's 1,500 pages that I have to figure out how to update to the new SEO standards, so they start getting.
So for anyone that doesn't know, SEO is like
search engine optimization.
Yeah, and basically, like, when you're in WordPress, like Before We Go blog is, we write up our article, and then down at the bottom there's like an analysis of how good your SEO is on this article. And the aim is to get like the little green smiley face of this is super searchable and wonderfully discoverable. Never in my goddamn life, not a single post of mine on Before We Go blog has gotten that stupid green smiley face. The best I can get is the yellow neutral face, and I still, to this day, like I've been part of the blog for like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Beth. It's not in my skill set. I'll never be good at SEO.
Oh, it's fine.
John's really good at it. He gets green.
Yeah, John puts them up on Grimdark magazine too. There's a whole system. Like if you put the name of the story in the first line of your paragraph, it will track higher. Like the first paragraph, it will track higher. And if you there's a whole in the meta description and how long your slug is. Oh fuck, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that stuff I can do because it'll give me like a little progress bar, and it's like I'm doing good. But
I'm doing good. It's a little bit better.
Post, man. Okay, so so before we go blog, it started out, as most indie things do, as kind of just a thing, and now it's huge. Since we've got some writers listening to the podcast, my next question was, do you have any tips for writers trying to get ready to reaching out to bloggers? Because I think that's a really scary step for some people who don't necessarily have connections yet. So
still freaks me out.
A little primer. Yeah.
Well, I think the first thing is that we're all pretty nice, generally. I mean, we're not going to say, bitch, I'm not going to read your words. Go back to being a waiter.
All of a sudden I knew this as a concept, this blog of like angry heckling. Okay.
Yeah,
okay, so we won't do that, but
no, we definitely won't. And just research who you're talking to, know what they're looking for, because usually the criteria of what they're looking for is posted on their site.
Yeah.
If they're open or closed for reviews, that's really important. Yeah. And pitch it. And then I think also becoming familiar with whatever community you're becoming a part of, wanting to become a part of, and not in a weaselly way, like just try and interact. I know it's hard, like it's because I'm actually quite an introvert, surprisingly. It's difficult for me a lot of times to interact with people that I don't know, I haven't talked to before, but we have shared interest, and I can talk about books for fucking ever. So
it's true. If you're on any social media platform in amongst writers and bloggers, talk to them about books.
Yeah,
and that's not just buy my book under every single one of their posts.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But if they post a review of a book that you liked, then you can tell them that you also like that review, and that is a great in for people. Yeah, that's a great way to open that door.
Because it's networking. It's just another type of networking. The hard thing is that now, I think in publishing, that you are basically a business. You are a one-person business.
Yep.
And so you have to think about how you're presenting yourself, how you want to come across, who you're talking to. And it used to be that like the big five would be that middleman. They would take care of that sort of interaction. All you had to do was be the artist, the writer. But even the middle tier of authors on like big five, they don't have that anymore. They have to be that also while writing
also
under
trying to churn out books.
Yeah, and like so you got it's a skill set that has to be developed. Who's really good at that is P.L. Stewart.
Yeah,
he's like, I bow down because he's completely honest. He's such a wonderful human. He's completely honest.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and
he's a part of everything. And he's a damn good writer. He's just an amazing human. And I talked to him about it, like treats it as his passion, but also as a business that he wants to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not to say that you have to be like stuffy and distant. Like,
no.
When we say it's professional environment, it's not a corporate environment. you know,
No, that would be not appropriate
we
either.
wouldn't be here if that were. but it, like, you know, it's still you're trying to sell a product. You're an entrepreneur now, so you know, remember
Uh-huh.
that this is your community that will support you if you make a good impression. So
Yeah, and if I can offer anything, don't use AI. Don't use AI. Don't. Because aside from it being completely unethical, you will be drummed out of the. People will not read you or review you if they find out that you're.
I'm amazed at how many AI covers I'm still seeing online.
It's like read the room, man.
Yeah, and not just in the indie scene.
Oh no. No, we actually have that contractually on our contracts that about AI, because Adrian's mom is a professional artist and my mom is a professional artist, and we both have real big opinions on AI. And so we have our artists that we work, and like our artist is amazing. We've been working with him for years, but he makes sure and do checks to see progress so we know that it's him drawing everything. Not that we wouldn't think it was, but not just bam, isn't this pretty? Isn't it amazing?
That's the new reality. That's another hat that we have to wear as writers these days, where we have to be aware. But you know, it is our community, so it pays to respect everybody in the ecosystem, be it the artists or the narrators, or you know, all of us build this home together. So it's good to have each other's backs.
Yeah. Before we go for getting on our review list, we have had closed for reviews for the last couple of years, because even with being closed for reviews, excuse me, I get probably like 10 requests a day as closed. If I didn't have things closed, I don't know how. It would just be like scrolling, and then I couldn't give any attention to anything because I would just be in the corner crying.
So what I'm getting from this is, even when a blogger says they're closed to reviews, it's okay.
They still get
send them stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and I get the funniest ones like hello, state blogger's name. Like I really like your state blog.
Oh no. You gotta proofread your emails, man.
It's so funny. No shade. It's just really funny. I mean, it made my day. Yeah, it's good. And then, so back to before we go. So we started, I opened up the team. Hey, does anybody want to write for us? And anybody want to review? And we got lots of interest.
Yeah.
And I started bringing on, asking some of my favorite authors, hey, you want to come over here? Write as much as you want to. Don't write. Just be a part of the chat and, hang out. We have the funnest chat. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Random stuff. And then it's just been building. And now we've got a very, very diverse team of writers and readers from all over the world. So it spans a good gauntlet of reviewing.
Yeah.
So what are 2 recent books that you've read for the blog
that I've read for the blog?
Say like one indie, one.
Shit.
She hasn't been reading for the blog.
I haven't been for.
She's been reading submissions.
GD's been a
moment. Let me check my Goodreads. Oh, what about you guys here? You tell me what is your most.
You know what I need to try to write a review for soon. No, I don't have a physical copy. I just finished a book called The Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzalez James, and it's like magical realism, I think
Yeah.
is the genre. It takes place like in 1890s on the Mexico-Texas border. And it's really good. Like it's historical fiction with some magic and like it's really good. And I think I'm gonna try to offer the review to Grimdark magazine because I think Grimdark fans would really like it because it has some
Cool.
really interesting things to say about like the legacy of evil.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's a good one. It's a really good one.
Okay. That sounds cool. I've got Last Dangerous Visions. The third book of the Harlan Ellison trio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That it took 50 years to get out. And I interviewed the editor of it.
Ooh.
For the last magazine. Yeah, and funny enough, I didn't know who he was when I interviewed him. I was very much focused on Harlan Ellison. I know all about Harlan Ellison, but I didn't. No, I just knew him as the executor of the estate, and I wanted to keep my focus on Ellison. Except now I find out after I wrote the intro and stuff, like he created Sense8, he wrote Babylon 5. Wow. You know, he wrote Jeremiah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's incredible. Like he's incredible. And yeah, that was in the intro. But when I was interviewing him about Ellison, it was like, let's talk about Harlan Ellison.
Well, I mean, that's what you had him on.
That was what I'm supposed to do. I just thought it was really funny. Yeah. So there was that one, and I read some smutty books in there for fun. Yeah. I read the second Assistant to the Villain book, Apprentice to the Villain, which is really cute, which is just fun, you know. Yeah. So I finished that one. That real light. I needed something super light because I had
in between all the good books.
Oh my god! I just needed like fluffy fun for a while. Oh yeah. Yeah. My reading this year is not. I've read 57 books.
Holy shit!
So far, and I'm supposed to like.
I'm supposed to tell me that that's not good. I think
no, it's half of what I normally like. I'm tracking. It's half. It should be read
4.
Yeah,
4.
No,
that's
not
good.
Kidding.
No, that's good. No shade. That's good.
You're laughing at me. Ah.
You're a busy writer. There's no time to read.
That's true.
Yeah.
Every time I pick up a book, I start feeling guilty. I'm like, I should be writing.
I'm cheating on my work in progress.
Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah. No, I listen to audiobooks too. But even now, I'm like, I can't even listen to audiobooks right now. I'm just need like YouTube videos of weather.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been there. Yeah. Audiobooks have like doubled my reading. Just because I'm able to do it while I'm doing other stuff. So thank God for audiobooks.
I just found out that the 7th Dungeon Crawler Carl book is coming out this month. Do you guys read Dungeon Crawler Carl?
But I've heard a lot. Yeah.
Oh, it's so freaking good. It's the best audiobook I've ever heard. Like, bar none. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I hear really good things about that series.
Yeah, it's just there's very few books that I'm actually like chuckling when I'm reading it, and that was hard chuckle.
So, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't. You know who reads a lot of books? John and Esme.
Yeah. Couple of times a week they're finishing books, and it's just like
and knocking out reviews. Just
I don't know how he does that on top of also
all the other things he does.
A professor, and like he has a doctorate in glass work. Oh man.
Yes, right. He created Gorilla Glass. In case anybody know the glass that's on your phone.
Yeah,
that's his baby. That's his baby. That's him.
Really cool.
Yeah, he's so smart.
I tell you, man, I have imposter syndrome, like hanging out with random doctors of
in our chat,
yeah,
like,
Dr.
oh yeah, I
G.
have a doctorate in
Yeah.
history, medieval history, and I have a doctorate in ceramics, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm just a little gremlin. It's really cool that you're smart. I'm sorry.
Anybody want to hear my getting lost in the kitchen
average
story?
Oh yeah, thanks.
Sorry, we had a long chat about edibles and stupid things we did while being younger and stuff. And I had said my first time at attempting any sort of edible when they became legal here, I got lost in the kitchen. So I couldn't get out of the kitchen. I kept getting turned around for like a solid 20 minutes. like spinning the air. Ha! Nope.
At least you were where the food is, which is where you.
Oh, I already like raided the fridge for anything that I could unhinge my jaw and shove into my face.
Maybe that's why you got lost. You were just weighed down.
Yeah. Rookie mistake. Like, 1 cookie's great, 3 would be amazing.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't feel anything. I have made a big mistake.
Cookie, you're like, yeah, I'm not getting anything. You have another one. You're like, there's nothing in these. You have a third.
These are.
Oh shit.
I'm floating above my body.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
I do remember being unable to leave a chair once for a very long time. Just not willing. Getting up was too fraught.
You've become one with the seat. And the funny thing about that is that you had like a philosophical conversation with yourself about why you needed to keep your butt in the seat. You know, it made total sense to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of our big chat streams. And then, you know, other people were talking about it. And then John's like, laugh on that. He didn't have any of the same sort of experiences.
Doesn't have the same misspent youth.
Oh my god, I was so bad. I was so bad. Oh, I did such bad things in high school, college.
That's what high school's for, though. God damn it.
I got good grades, and I didn't end up pregnant, and I didn't get addicted to drugs. Like, I got good grades. Went to college. It's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It works out in the end, probably.
Yeah.
And then we die, so, like, whatever.
Yeah, I had great memories. Like,
yeah.
The helicopter story, and, you know, great memories.
Okay. I actually know where that was going. I'm gonna exit. Just kidding. On that note, the bucket is now closed.
Sorry. So back to books.
No, man, it's been like half an hour. We're gonna end this episode eventually.
Wow, I suck as a guest. Sorry.
No, this is great. This is what we have people on for.
Yeah.
So the bucket is now officially closed to the public. We're gonna jump off. And thank you, Beth, for coming on and to chat with us about.
This is my pleasure.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And everything.
Good times.
So yeah, I'll have links for Grimdark Magazine Patreon down in the chat. So hopefully we get some more stories from Grimdark Magazine.
Yes.
And otherwise, we'll see everybody later.
Yes.